if you can, without, you know, I don't want you fucking up anything with your lawyer, your case. What happened, man?
So I got caught up and accused of something that didn't happen.
Bitch, your phone ain't even on yet. You know what I mean? Bitch, you can't even call your mom and cry.
What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. What's up, man? For the people that don't know who you are, just go ahead and tell them who you are and where you're from.
What's going on, everybody? This Pino. Y'all know what time it is. Pompano, Florida.
All right, salute, salute. All right, so, man, you've been in a lot of drama. I mean, this has been going on for like 2 years, man. So where are you at with that?
Unfortunately, due to the circumstances with Milk trying to fight the person that was paying him, which was ridiculous. I mean, it was a good way to get out the fight. I mean, that's the only way I could see it, why you would want to fight somebody, because he called you a bitch. I mean, like 90% of the internet has called you a bitch, including me. Like, he checked out of that fight, but I'm still fighting. It's not a beef fight. I wouldn't say it's a beef fight. It's more of a field of card fight. Because he checked in on his fight, it's more of a field of card fight. So I'm gonna be fighting somebody that's my weight, 185, 5'11".
Yeah. I actually heard about this shit. Like, someone was in my live, and they were like, "Oh, Pino's fighting in a pay-per-view. Who you got?" And then I assumed it was Milk, because then someone commented Milk. But so you've had an ongoing beef with this dude for shit, like a year, 2 years.
Like,
what?
Since I started doing YouTube.
Yeah,
he had like 1,000 subscribers, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to give his channel out. I don't want to promote that shit. Yeah. But so what started all that? You're doing prison YouTube at this point, right?
Right.
All right. So where's Milk come in?
I mean, he been. So I used to fuck with 2 other YouTubers, 1090 Jake and K-Frog TV. I used to be cool with them before we fell out, and then I beat one of them up and tried to find the other one or whatever. I used to be cool with him, and Milk used to make videos about us, like, non-stop. Like, this is when he had like 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he was trolling you.
Yeah, he was trolling me. He was a little troll channel. He used to make videos non-stop. There was a bunch of them at the time, though. When we first came out the prison genre, there was so many goddamn troll channels, it was ridiculous. There's still a bunch. Yeah. But this was the original genre of the generation of the troll channels.
So lame, dog.
Right. We went back and forth or whatever, but then it cranked back up again. What, like a year, 2 years ago or whatever, it cranked back up. He started making videos again, so we started going back and forth again. And I thought finally, like, we had this bitch settled. Like, okay, you finna bump.
Yeah.
You asked for 7K. We offered you 7K, then you were in the DM like, nah, I need more than that. I need more than that. Then we offered you more than that, and you agreed. So I was thinking, you know, we finna get there.
Yeah.
But you checked out of the fight. You tried to fight the person paying you. I mean, come on, how ridiculous is that for calling?
So he
bitch?
literally like was offered 10 grand to fight you, and he backed out.
Winner was gonna get paid more. Yeah. So all he had to do was whoop me. He would have got paid more than 10.
That's crazy.
All he had to do was paint me.
No, hell no. Don't be talking that type of language.
That's it. All you had to do was whoop me. Give me a black eye or something.
So, all right, man. Well, you've been in other beefs with other channels. Usually, man, these channels are small. Milk kind of blew up because he's still reacting and trolling motherfuckers. Right.
Well, it takes consistency. He's a consistent YouTuber. I'm not consistent. I'm not on YouTube every day. I don't post a video every day. It's just like how you're growing with YouTube. It takes YouTube. That's for any upcoming YouTubers in trying to make it in the YouTube world or whatever. Consistency. Every day. Post. Every day. Content. Every day. Professionalize it every day.
Yeah. So where the prison genre is at right now, which, by the way, I'm trying to get out of, but what are your thoughts on all the new channels coming up, you know, everything like that? What, like, do you fuck with any of them, or are you just like 9 on it?
I mean, I'm gonna just do this real quick to show you, like, so if I go through my YouTube right now,
the search,
Danny Trejo recalls being hypnotized by Charles Manson in jail. Honeycomb Brazy 223 joystick, a big mess out of Greensville County, redo for consideration. Like, your channel comes up on mine, you know what I mean? But other than that, like, I don't really watch other people like that. Like, when I watch YouTube, I be telling people, like, I watch weird shit. I be watching like Aliens and Snake Island and National Geographic
type of shit I like, bro.
I be locked in on that. I get a joint and be locked in on National Geographic for an hour or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or some type of shipwreck or something like that, bro. I be locked
zoned out.
Zoned in, looking at it. Damn, I wish I could find this buried treasure. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Well, some people on my subscribers might not know you, might not know your story. So you're a white boy banging Crip. You're in the Florida prison system. For the people don't know, the Florida prison system is 100% different than the West Coast prison systems.
Correct.
So how, like, all right, you're going into prison, which you went to JIT camp, right? Your first bid?
Correct.
All right, so what was that like, man, walking in there, being white, being a Crip? I'm sure you're outnumbered. By then, Lil Wayne was out, and Bloods are everywhere.
Well, first off, you're a Hoover on the street. You're not a Crip on the street.
Right.
You're a criminal on the street, and that's just how politics go. But when you go to Florida prisons, and this is how different it is from like different states. I don't know about other states. I know about Florida. I know everything's falling up under that Crip car. I don't care if you're a neighborhood. I don't care if you're a Hoover. I don't care if you're a Grape. I don't care if you're a kitchen, a get up kid. I don't care what set you are. If you originally fell up under that seat, that's where you're falling up under in the prison system. Same thing with Bloods. These stones are going up under the Bloods. Everything is the same thing in the Florida prison system. So it's either you either gonna ride with the car or you nothing on the compound, and that's the choices you're given. Like, you're either gonna be a part of this or you're nothing. There's no I'm a Crip, but I ain't gonna be running with y'all boys, or I'm a Hoover, but I ain't gonna be running with y'all boy, but I fuck with y'all. It ain't none of that.
No, it's 100 every time.
It's 100 every time. It's you, especially on a compound that's structured.
Yeah.
You see,
so with the right leadership and stuff.
Right, leadership. It takes leadership to make a structure.
Yeah. All right, man. So let me ask you this. So you're a white boy. You grew up in Pompano. What was your upbringing like? Like, do you have mom and dad at home? Like,
my dad been in and out of my life. Like, the ends were very short. Maybe a month or two here, month or two.
And then what would happen?
3 years down. He's been to prison 3 times.
Okay.
So he was a drug addict, and he's clean now. Thank God. You know what I mean? He's living a good life. You know, but he was always like not in the picture. It was my mom basically raised me on her own. She raised me and my older brother.
So Mama Dukes was there 100 the whole time?
Mom Dukes raised 2 boys. By herself. So, you know, of course she would talk to my dad on the phone when he was in prison or whatever, you know, send him support or whatever. But they've been divorced since I was like 4 years old. It's been just me and my mama. You know what I mean?
Well, shout out to your mom, man, because, you know, I didn't, my mom left, so, and my dad died, so you know, praise God your mom was
My
there.
mom's a tough motherfucker, bro.
Girl,
like,
I feel that.
I remember one time telling my mom I grew the balls and told her I ain't want to go to school. I think I was in like no, it wasn't a slap, it was a punch. And it with rings on, right in the mouth. I said, I'm not going to school, and I sat down. I said, I don't want to go to school. I think I was in like the 5th or 6th grade, maybe middle school, something. Man, I got hit in the mouth so hard, I was like, I want to go to school.
Yeah, she sounds like my mom. My mom just wasn't there.
She had 2 boys, and you got to be tough. You can't can't not be tough with 2 boys by yourself.
Yeah, you got to like take on that manly role a little bit.
You got to be tough.
Yeah. All right, man. So you're growing up. Your father's in and out of prison. Your mom's there 100, not putting up with no bullshit. So you're going into Florida prison now. You are a Crip. So what drew you to that?
I've been banging since the street.
I know, but what was like what made you say, like, you know what, I'm gonna be about this Crip shit 1000? Like, was there a moment, or would it all gradually?
I went into prison young, and like I said, I've been banging since the street, so which means I've been banging even younger.
Yeah.
But excuse me, Rockstar. Shout out to Rockstar. But when you go into prison at a young age, like I went to prison at 18. 3 years in YO camps. Naturally, I'm going in the same way. I'm not going in and like I was a gang member on the street, so now I'm not going in and saying I'm not a gang member no more or whatever, this, that, and the third. Because you're 18, you're 19, and that's frowned upon. You know what I mean? At that age, like, we're grown now, you know what I mean? We got more sense now, but at that age, it was like frowned upon, like, oh, you was banging on the street, but you come to prison and don't want to bang?
Yeah, you
like,
fold. A lot of people fold.
Yeah, they fold.
Yeah.
And that comes back to the part where I said, either you with us or you nothing on the compound. You by yourself, and if you get robbed, you get stabbed, that's whatever, that's on you. We ain't got nothing to do with that. It's more like people know you. Like, it's Florida, bro. Like, I did 3 years in YO camps, and I've seen 15, 20 people with life sentences that I was in YO camps with, and they didn't have a life sentence when they were in a YO camp with me.
Yeah.
They had like 5 years, 6 years, 3 years. They got out, did some dumb shit, fell up under the Prison Release Reoffender Act, and got sentenced to life.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So explain to the people what a PRR is.
PRR is the Prison Release Reoffender Act. It means that if you commit any violent crime within like 3 years of getting released from the Department of Corrections, you fall up under the PRR Act. And when I say violent crime, burglary is on there. Burglary of a dwelling is on there.
Occupied dwelling, right?
No, unoccupied and occupied, because what they use it as is they use it as a violent offense in Florida because they say it becomes violent once you cross somebody's threshold.
Yeah.
Now,
if it was, could be in there.
Right. If it was a conveyance or a structure, it's not PR. But if it was a dwelling, it's PR, whether it was occupied or unoccupied, because it can become dangerous as soon as you cross the threshold.
And what people don't understand, man, is that it's so easy a charge to get. A bitch could not like you, not fuck with you. You move out. Next thing you know, she gets mad because you got a side bitch now. She calls the cops and she's like, he broke into my house. He don't live here.
Bro, I met a dude that got 15 years for stealing a generator off of somebody's shed. They consider, because the shed was on the home property. Bro, they considered it. They considered the shed as part of the dwelling because it was on the property.
Yeah.
So the shed was considered a dwelling. Anything with a roof and a threshold is considered a dwelling. So they considered the shed a dwelling. Charged him with burglary of a dwelling, unoccupied dwelling, and grand theft and dealing in stolen property. He got sentenced to 15 years because he was a prison release reoffender. But the sad part is he was just a junkie. He was somebody that got out of prison, didn't have the right help, got out and had nobody to turn to, and turned right back to his addiction. And his addiction led him to stealing a generator, which he thought the circumstances would be small,
less of a crime
for stealing a generator, but turns out you just got out of prison. Yeah, it should have, but it was on somebody's property, and the shed was considered the dwelling because, like I said, anything with a roof and a threshold.
Right, so how many years in prison did you do exactly?
I did 10 altogether. I did 3 the first bit on a youthful offender bit. I did all 3 years in wild camps, Lancaster, Lake City, Reception Center, South Florida Reception Center, all that shit. And I got out, and I was out for about...
Well, one sec. Explain to the people, because JIT camps in Florida are treacherous, and they were, especially at the time that you went in. So
they were real treacherous at the time.
Yeah, Viking lifestyles. So explain to somebody, man, like, because a lot of people watch me, their sons and daughters are in prison, they're young, never been to prison. Explain to somebody, like, if I'm new, I've never been to prison, I'm walking into YO, I'm getting a red hat at CFRC. Like, what's next? What does life look like?
Do you want me to give the advice to the parents what they should tell their kids?
No, I want you to say it from the kids' perspective so they can
Okay, so from the kids' perspective, you're going to hear all type of shit. You're going to be nervous as fuck. I don't care who you are. 99% of people that are going to a wild camp, it's their first time going to prison. They're a youthful offender. You might see 1 or 2 youthful offenders on the compound who violated CRD or came back on another YO bid. You know what I mean? They did a year, got out, and came back on another 3 years. But it's rare. So everybody's new there. It's treacherous. You're going to hear all type of shit. Like, before you hit that compound, you're going to hear like, oh, man, you got to tighten up the biggest person in the dorm, or you got to keep a knife on you. You got to do this. You got to do that.
That's like the universal prison. Like.
In all actuality, you just got at a youthful offender prison. I don't know about now. We're in 2022. This is 2009, 2010 we were talking about, 2011.
Gladiator days.
My best advice to somebody that was doing time back then going into a youthful offender, it might still be the same way, because, I mean, it might be worse. You got to stand on your shit. You got, there is no falling under the radar. I'm going to just do my time, and everybody going to leave me alone at a YO camp. At a youthful offender prison, there's no such thing. You're going to get there. There's people lined up in the dorm looking at the orientation dorm before they coming into the new dorms. Picking them off. Oh, I got him. Oh, that's my brother. Don't nobody fuck with him. I was at this camp with him. That's my brother. Or I was at the reception center with him. I know him from the street. Or, oh, I got him. The Crips call him. The Bloods call him. And when I say the Crips or the Bloods or the Zoes call him, that means as soon as he gets in the dorm, that's who's going to press him. And no gang needs to interfere. No other gang is going to interfere. So if the Zoes say, I got him, when that dude gets in the dorm, he's getting pressed by the Zoes.
So what does that look like, man? Are they lining it up outside the cell? And
it's extortion. They gonna go as far as they can to see if you break. Yeah. I mean, it's simple. They gonna tighten you up in the grid. You might get jumped. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get jumped. You're not gonna get a real like fade, you know what I mean? You just, I mean, if you're a gang member and you go in there, you're gonna get a one-on-one fade. You're gonna have to 9 times out of 10. You're gonna have to get your TOH.
Does your own gang TOH you?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're a gang member, your own gang is gonna give you a one-on-one somewhere down the line or test your heart. Maybe the head might be cool with the Zoes, so he might tell the Zoes, hey, run down on him, but don't beat him up. Just scare him up and see what he does. See the outcome.
Testing him.
Just test him, and that's if they like you. If they don't know you or nothing, you're gonna get a fade. For gang members, if you're not a gang member and you buck up and you like, you're probably gonna get jumped. But if you continue to hold your shit down the whole day, because it might take 24 hours of holding your shit down. If not longer. It might take 24 hours of beating people up or beating people off of you or getting beat up just to show that you're not gonna give your shit up, because the whole thing behind youthful offender prison is extortion. That's it.
I think the worst TOH story I heard was your dog smoked a neutron.
Yeah, smoke.
Dog, literally, like, when I watched that, it was a couple years ago, but he fucking got put through it. Anyways, I don't want to say no more. He's going to come on the channel and give his interview.
For sure. Shit. Follow Smoke the Neutron. Y'all already know.
Shout out Smoke, man. So, all right, man. So you're in the dorm. People are getting TOHs. Gangs are going on. Explain to the people. So you're banging immediately when you walk in this dorm, right? Like,
correct.
You let it be known.
At the reception center.
Okay.
At the reception center, it was known.
All right.
Like, as soon as you go in, because 9 times out of 10, when you at that reception center, there's going to be people at that reception center, especially on the youthful offender side, that are going to the prison you going to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they're going to be like, oh, you wasn't saying you was this when you was at the reception center.
Yeah. Word travels, man.
Yeah. So
that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Yes, sir.
All right. So where did you go after the reception center?
Lancaster Correction Institution was my first compound I landed on.
What was that like walking into?
Man, listen, the police, they're so nasty. They used to call it Clancaster.
Yeah, KKK.
The police are so nasty that they had a dude. I've heard a couple other.
You got your golds in at this time?
Nah, this was I was 18 at the time. I was very young, and bruh, it was treacherous. If you're not dealing with the inmates, you're dealing with the officers, bruh. So it's like it's always nonstop. Like, it's just. I've slept with my boots on. People that know what that is, what that's like to have to sleep with your boots on or take turns keeping watch, bro, in an open bay dorm. Like, that's warfare. That's real deal warfare. That's warfare on the inside. If I have to stay up and watch everybody in the dorm to make sure nobody sneaks my brothers while they're sleeping, that's warfare.
Yeah, I got a homeboy right now that's I think he's in Taylor, man. And I was talking to him and he was complaining, man, because he's like, bro, I stay up all night waiting for another op to come in the dorm. And he just got tired, man, of living that. Like, he said, like, he can't think about nothing else but violence and how it's going to go down, how he can protect himself.
Correct. And even adult camps are the same way. It's just adult camps, you're not gonna get pressed like as soon as you get in the door.
Right. Well, you might, depending on
what compound you land on and where you land. If you land at some gang camps, you're gonna get pressed as soon as you get in the door.
I got pressed at the Gulf.
Of course, Gulf is gangland. Of course, ACI is gangland. Franklin's gangland. Charlotte's gangland. There's camps that are labeled as Martin's gangland. There's camps that are named gangland. There's like 100 prisons in Florida, but a good 30 of them are gangland, and everyone I've been to has been gangland. From Santa Rosa all the way to ACI.
Yeah, Santa Rosa ain't no joke.
Santa Rosa is not a joke. Santa Rosa is not a joke. A bitch will kill you at Santa Rosa.
All right, man. So you did 7 years, and you're living in a war zone under constant stress.
On my adult bid, on my adult bid, I went back in. I did the 3 years, got out. I was out for like 5 months and got roped back up again in some bullshit. I was doing the wrong thing. I got out on the same stupid shit.
All right, so you got out basically the same way you were before you went in.
If not worse. If not a little bit worse.
Do you think the prison time has something to do with that, or were you just not ready to change?
I just think I wouldn't say I wasn't ready to change. I would say I thought about changing at that time, but it takes a lot to put your mind to change, bro. There's people who go back and forth to prison their whole life, bro. And
recidivism.
And after it took my second bid to realize that, bro. I've been out 4 years now. So it took my second bid to realize, like, it took 10 years of my life to realize, like, damn, something got to change, something got to shake. And it took 10 years. Some people, it might take 10 days.
Nah, for me, it's been like 20 years.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? But it's different strokes for different folks. Exactly. I know people that go to the county jail for 10 days and become a saint afterwards.
I know, right?
They change their whole life. But then I know people who do 10 years like me, and it takes them the whole 10 years, 2 bids, 10 years to change their ways.
What do you think that's done to you mentally, man, as far as PTSD? Like, do you struggle with anything from all the time you've done in prison?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I go to restaurants and I like my back to the wall. It's just a lot of it's a lot of small shit. I'm more aware of my surroundings. Like I kind of get on my wife sometimes too, because she's not aware of her surroundings. Like, yeah, me but too. I have to realize that she's a civilian. She's never been introduced to that type of life.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that's a fact, bro.
And it's like somebody who goes to the military. When they go over there, not comparing or contrasting, but I'm saying, like, somebody that goes to the military, they come back, they're a little fucked up. They're peeping around corners. They hear noises. They fucked up. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
You see, I sleep light.
They kill themselves.
I sleep light, bro. I used to be a good sleeper. I sleep light now. I'm in and out of sleep all night. That comes from being awake and aware of my surroundings and sleeping a certain way and just.
So when you say everything. That though, having to be on your P's and Q's nonstop in prison, when you got out, like, obviously you're doing good now, you got, you know, right. You own a business, you're doing positive shit out there, you know, how long was it from when you EOS to now where you are now? And, like, how did you get through the not doing what you did the first time you got out?
It was a progression. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, everybody knows I beat up another YouTuber. You know what I mean? In the street. Everybody knows I did some savage shit, and that's what type of person I was. I wasn't used to... I had it in my mind when I got out of prison that I wanted to change my life and my ways, and I wanted to, you know, counsel youth and do, like, I never had YouTube in mind, but I had, like, in mind of helping
service
people.
Work.
Yeah, service work. It's like a progression thing. It's like, you know, you got to realize that you're on the street. And for, like, my first year, like, I knew I was on the street, and I knew I wasn't doing bad shit because I was still living the right way. I was going to work and shit like that, but I was still doing loose shit. If somebody would have said something to me in Publix, like some smart ass Karen or Kevin shit,
bitch, I'll knock you the fuck out.
I'll knock you the fuck out, and I get in their face in Publix. That was my first year out. But then I had to realize, now if a Karen or a Kevin says something to me, it's like, yeah, all right, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? And I use my words to my advantage because they're not gonna come touch me, and I know that now. But I had to learn that. I had to progress into that, because when you're in prison, it doesn't matter if they're going to touch you or not. They're not going to disrespect you.
Right.
That's not how the free world works.
Nah, bro, the free world works. Everybody says whatever the fuck they want. And they do it because nobody's knocking a bitch out.
And you have to learn to remove yourself from that situation. That goes facts. With like Milk. I try to do it the legit way. Bro, I know if I go to Cali and I wait on Milk in some alleyway and beat the shit out of him, I know he's going to call the police.
Oh, yeah.
The way I'm going to do him, he's going to call the police. There is no ifs, ands. When he goes back upstairs to Mika, he calling the police. Yeah. So sometimes you have to learn to, like, you have to be that grown up and just learn to fall back a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still struggle with the same shit, man. You know what? For me, it was like I just got tired of proving myself, because once you've proven yourself over and over and you know, like, you're really about it, you really can handle your own, then it becomes, you know, all the hate from the comments, and then you just kind of just say to yourself, well, people that do that, dog, hate themselves. They're miserable with something in themselves that they see in you, and then they use that to attack you. That's
absolutely. I mean, people
like the art of war type shit.
And that's why I'm trying to humble myself. You know, I'm trying to humble everything around me. I'm trying to be at peace with everything, because at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be that 60, 70-year-old Karen or Kevin that's always yelling at their neighbors, or always miserable just in some type of way, bro. No offense to anybody, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. That one person that's just miserable and always complaining about everything and always got something to say, or always on YouTube spamming comments with hateful messages. It's the level of misery, and you got to learn that you know, that's not what life's about. It's not. I mean, you got one life, so you got to be happy, and that's why I've been progressing on trying to be at peace with everybody and everything around me. and just be humble. You know what I mean? Because you got one life, bro. I'm not gonna spend it in misery. I'm gonna be that happy old man.
Yeah, and you don't want to be that 50-year-old laying in the middle bunk in a dorm.
I want to be that 50, 60-year-old going on roller coasters with his grandkids and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I like that vibe.
Come on, that's the vibe, man. Eating snow cones and shit like that at the park and sneaking a joint in the car later on. You know what I mean?
I feel you, man. All right, man. So I know you brought up some shit about drama and the beef before you told your positive message. So let's talk about that for a minute. So what do you think it was, man, from the time you made YouTube to where you're at now with it, where you let that shit suck you in and you defended yourself and you drove places, flew places.
Correct.
Are you at a point where you're just like done with it?
I mean, if I have at the end of the day, like if it's another YouTuber and he's on the same level and it's gonna bring in production and money, I fight. Fighting's nothing. I grew up fighting. Fighting's nothing, especially if I'm gonna get paid for it. If I'm legitimately fighting in the ring, I'm not promoting negativity. I'm not promoting a bad picture. I'm promoting that you can handle it a certain way. And not only that, like, I'm getting paid out of it. You know what I mean? That goes back to the No Jumper show with the fight that's going on. Like, I'm not going to just be fighting anybody. Like, it's going to be another person that has the view count, something to make the people come in and want to watch. Nobody's going to watch. Nobody's going to want to watch Pino fight Joe or Smo from Arkansas. You know what I mean?
189 subscribers.
With 180. Nobody's going to want to watch that. You know what I mean?
So, all right, man. Well, with the beef and the drama, I know you got some shit going on. I know we're not going to get into a lot of details on it. So, if you can, without, I don't want you fucking up anything with your lawyer, your case. What happened, man?
So, I got caught up and accused of something that didn't happen.
Like, you think it was an op that did it?
It could have been a number of sources, bro. I got so many haters. It could have been ops dropping tips to cops. It could have been anything. You know how that goes. It's the game. And you'll never find out, because at the end of the day, they're a CI, they're undercover, or they're a tipster. You know what I mean? So you'll never find out. But me and my lawyer and my team, we're prepared to fight, and we know that I'm innocent. And we're prepared to fight, and my lawyer actually has a good route in which he's taking right now to beat the charges. And honestly, I mean, he's a straight up lawyer. He's a former prosecutor. He's a paid lawyer. I'm out right now on 2 bonds, paid a fucking lump sum of money to get out on bond. You know what I mean? So like, it's not cheap, bro.
No, people don't realize, bro, how much money that shit costs.
That's a money bucket, and that's why you got to stay away from the legal system. But
so are these federal charges, or are they state?
No, they're state.
Oh,
but it was the feds who tried to investigate me when I was at the police station. They held me at the police station trying to press me, and I was like, "Am I charged right now?" They were like, "Yeah, you're charged." I'm like, "Okay, go ahead and take me to jail so I can bond out."
My man, what we waiting on?
What we waiting on?
Yeah, you want me to start the car?
But
can you say what the charges are that you're facing right now?
Yeah, 2 gun cases.
So a felon in possession of a firearm?
Yes. And
so if it was worst case scenario, what are you looking at?
I mean, I'm innocent, but worst case scenario I think it's a minimum man of 3 in Florida.
So 3 years day for day?
No, I don't know about day for day, because they could say 3 years minimum man and you can get sentenced to 3 years probation. You know what I mean? Yeah, or you could get a year in the county followed by 2 years probation. It just means that the 3 years man means your sentence has to equal out to 3 years.
I got you.
At the minimum. Like, you have to. So, like, even with a 15 man, like, you can get 10 in, 5 out. My standpoint right now, my lawyer says everything looks good and that he's fully capable of beating these charges. So
you're Gucci then.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
If your lawyer's telling you that,
bro, he went so far as to say I'm not gonna say whose talk show we're gonna go on, but I got a few connections in high places, and he went so far as to say, when I beat this case,
we're gonna
talk about this.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. So you got that shit going on. I know you got a wife, man. You got some kids.
Facts.
You are a family man, and I recognize that.
Facts.
So, and I also wanted to tell you, man. About, I would say 5 months ago, I went through kind of like a relapse, man, where I went out, I was getting fucked up and shit. And I fuck with everybody on YouTube at this point, because I haven't learned out who's who.
Right.
And you were the only person that messaged my girl, that messaged me. And
make sure you're all right. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what, as a convict, like at the end of the day, I don't know about anybody else's outlook, but I know about my outlook is we out here in the free world. We all came from the same struggle. I mean, I guess a military veteran would look at it as the same thing. Like if there's another military veteran and they need help and you know he falling back, but you know he better than that, you would go help him. I look at it the same thing.
Well, I mean, appreciate that, dog.
Yeah, of course, always, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, so what is the goal now for Pino? You got, you know, all this shit going on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I mean, honestly, I'm moving into real estate this year. If I do, you know, I am getting my wave back into YouTube. I'm doing my lives more often, but if I do go into this real estate gig, it's going to be, my channel is going to take a drastic change. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about houses. We're going to be showing videos of us me and my wife flipping houses. Yeah, we're going to be doing, that's what the videos are going to be. They're going to be re-innovating videos. We're going to go into a house. We might buy a house for $150K and value it out once we sell it at $300K. So,
which right now you can do that.
Yes, in this market value, it's a great time. The market is at its highest. It's at a peak right now. So I don't know about where everybody else is from, but I know Florida, it's at a peak right now.
No, yeah, it is, bro. It's so expensive to rent somewhere. One bedroom's like fucking $2 grand.
Oh yeah.
So all right, man. How do the people find you on YouTube? I know you just started your Instagram back up, right?
Come hit me up on Instagram. It's raw_talk08. Raw_talk08.
And then your YouTube
Pino, just type in Pino Raw Talk. And by the way, about Raw Talk, that dude Bradley Martin, I've been wanting to talk about him, right? Dude Bradley Martin stole my name, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Bradley Martin Raw Talk, you stole my name. You stole the name of the podcast. You know you did. Bro.
He's not lying.
He's got like 200,000 subscribers. So now that fans are going to be like, oh, why would he steal your shit? He has 200,000 subscribers. Well, I'll tell you why. Go to his videos. Go to Bradley Martin Raw Talk and go see 4 months ago, was he calling his podcast Raw Talk? No.
All right, so we're going to have to get,
I need some clarification, Bradley.
Yeah.
No beef. I just need some clarification.
Yeah. If not, we do another pay-per-view, and he's a big boy, so we might have to jump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what time it is. I can handle some big boys. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, in prison, fighting. I wouldn't say fighting is like scary to me, bro. I wouldn't say that. Like, I mean, maybe my first time getting locked up in juvenile detention centers and stuff like that. When you're
still learning how to fight.
Or in the neighborhood when I was growing up, like I had to fight dude down the street. Your blood pressure run up, you get adrenaline rush. It just doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. It disappears after a while. And people who fight a lot, they know that. Like if you've been in a lot of fights in your life, like the adrenaline rush, the pump, the blood pump, it's not as what it was. Now you're just more cool, calm, and collective about the situation.
That's crazy you said that, because on Mike Tyson, on his podcast, he said, I just didn't have the passion for it anymore. I didn't, you know, it just wasn't there.
Right.
And I think that's part of getting older, man. When you're on, you know, positive shit, the last thing you want to go do is like knock a bitch out, you know, unless they try you.
Unless, I mean, there's always circumstances. Like, I mean, you could, like, God forbid you're in public with your family or something, and somebody does some real disrespectful shit, like, you know, put their hands, we're gonna ride on that. But like at the end of the day, like I said, we're grown now, bro. You got to know how to, I had to learn that shit. I had to learn that you got to know how to remove yourself from a situation. And it ain't pussy, call it what you want, it ain't pussy. You just got to learn how to remove yourself from a situation, because sometimes a bitch ain't gonna touch you. All a bitch gonna do is talk, and you got to realize that sometimes all a bitch gonna do is talk, and they doing it for a reaction. They talking for a reaction, because once you come put your hands on them and really show them the devil inside, the first thing they doing is the cop callers, bro. They calling the cops on you.
And the people that do that, bro, like, people don't understand. If me and you were in Publix and two dudes try us, if we beat their ass, we look at 15 years. If they beat our ass, or vice versa, probation. Yeah, exactly.
Community service.
Operation Payback. Well, listen, man, I want to thank you for coming out, man, coming to the crib, coming on the show.
For sure.
I appreciate what you're doing, man, trying to stay positive and help the young kids out. So, hey, I salute you for coming up here. You drove a little minute, so I appreciate that.
Got to drive a little minute again.
If you're new and you're tuning in, this is the type of shit we talk about. So if you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button and turn your post notifications on. And with that, a DOC TV and Pino, and we out. Boom.